All right. I feel like these need to be... I was told that I need to make these videos like this, the longer videos. And I know that because I watch YouTube and I like to turn my phone to the side so I can see a bigger thing, but it's still just more complicated to like do it like this on my phone rather than on a camera. But if me getting my phone set to the side like this is easier for you, then just let me know. But I've been working through some things, dealing with some challenges, some, you know, mental, emotional, but also like just trying to figure things out. You know, I think that we all come to this place in life and we're like, what am I doing? Where am I going? What am I supposed to be doing? I have all these goals, these things I want to do, but then how am I going to get there? And what is actually necessary? What is not necessary? What's a dream? What's a reality? What could be reality that is a dream? I don't know. I've just been in this introspective place, and it's actually been getting me like a little bit depressed. I broke up with my boyfriend last Wednesday. We'd been together for 5.5 months, but then last night we got back together, and I've been trying to figure out what I'm doing with my art. I'm a photographer and a writer and a painter and a jewelry maker, but I also would like to build things, and I like to paint furniture and refurbish furniture a little bit, but I've been feeling so stuck. I'm also in school, but I'm on summer break, and so that's kind of left me in this place of I get to be creative, I get to rest, I get to enjoy nature and summertime in the Pacific Northwest, which is amazing, but I'm just feeling a little bit uncertain, you know? I'm feeling like I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I want to go. I know I want to travel. I know I want to do something with this school journey. I want to become a psychologist. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to use my YouTube to do guided meditations and more nature videos. And maybe take my videos up a notch a little bit more and put a little bit more effort into things. But I am also trying to figure out if I even want to make jewelry anymore. I've been making jewelry for years, but I've been feeling so, I don't know, I guess tired of it in a way. Tired of it in this space that I spend a lot of money on supplies and spend a lot of time and energy making the creations, and I get really excited, and then I end up giving most of it away, which is nice, but I also, like, you know, could use some income from it. It would be really helpful. That was part of it. That's part of my reason for, you know, spending so much money on supplies and taking, you know, time and care to make things. And I'll make a lot of certain things and then have these intentions, but then I love to make people happy, and I love to share my gifts, but then it puts me in a place of like, well, should I keep doing this? I mean, it does bring me joy, and I enjoy that it brings other people joy and healing and makes people feel good and makes me feel good to share that. But what am I doing with it, really? You know? And then same thing with like my photography. I went to school for it. I did a lot of training. I've been in love with photography since I was in elementary school. and I wanted so badly to become a professional photographer when I grew up. And then I watched that movie Stepmom with Julia Roberts, and she was a professional photographer, and I just wanted that so badly. But then I get so overwhelmed with working with people. I'm like, I'd rather just photograph nature and take videos of nature and make it be this, really healing, peaceful thing. But I do love people. I do love working with them, but then I think I've been having a hard time feeling like I could be, I guess, dependable. That's part of it. And feeling insecure around it. I think that's been part of that also. And that's the same thing with the jewelry, with pricing things, just feeling a little insecure with that a lot of the times. What else? So I also make oils, and so I wanted to put the oils and the jewelry together, like doing these meditation kits that I've been doing for the last couple years, maybe a little bit longer than that. I have all these great ideas all the time, but then I'm one of those people, it's like I have good ideas, and then sometimes it gets just lost in my headspace. And then sometimes I'll like make it a physical reality and create and sell and do that sort of thing. Or like I've had some experiences with being a wedding photographer. I've been able to do some family photos for people, some kids senior photos, and so that's been fun. And I've always surprised myself at my abilities in those spaces, how I was able to handle the stress or whatever. The editing is pretty overwhelming, but it's enjoyable, and there are ways to do it so it's not so overwhelming. But I think part of it's also my living space is challenging because I'm in an apartment, and just feel like the energy there is like, just makes me feel anxious and anxiety ridden, and I just get so overwhelmed. And then with the school stuff, after I finish this year, I'm hoping to be getting into a master's program so I can get my master's in, I think, social work is what I am pretty certain I want to get my master's in, so I can have a broader area of work options. And then I want to get my doctorate in clinical psychology, and I want to be able to help people in that space. But I don't want to have to work full time. I'd like to be able to do part time with that, and then work on my art and be able to live like a slow life and not be like overly busy, but be busy in good ways, and be able to give back and contribute and all that. I really value the healing communities that I've been recently able to become a part of, and meet some wellness people around my area and the areas around my town. So like the neighboring towns, and met a wonderful group of women the other night who are a part of that wellness community, and it was a very welcoming space, and I felt very grateful and honored to be able to get involved with that. And I do feel like maybe this time of feeling so lost is also partly, it's like spirit is trying to help push me to really figure out a clear direction and a clear understanding of what I'm doing, so I can make choices that are going to help guide me to where I need to be and into the places that I need to be in. But I'm also like, do I want to live here? I go back and forth with that, but I really do want to travel. I think that's a big part of it. And I love the Pacific Northwest, and I love pretty much every season. I do get some bits of seasonal depression, but it's not really depression. It's just kind of like October comes around, and I know I start going like, like having to go within myself, off social media more, and just quieter and slower, and need to be outside all the time, all year long, as much as I can be. And I usually walk a bit every day. I was going for much longer walks than I have been lately, but in the winter times, fall, winter, and early spring, I really push those walks because it's so important for my mental health. And I think that's something that I've been kind of struggling with lately, because I usually write every day, I journal, I do these exercises, I walk daily and meditate, but I haven't been doing all these things so consistently. And I think that when we take some space away from these things that really are helpful for us, and we don't contribute as much to our spirit, and we find it more challenging, I think, to take care of our inner self, then we start feeling a little bit more lost. And so, if anybody who's listening to this struggles with their mental health and feeling like they have a purpose, I think it's really important to just start taking note of like your daily activities and the things that you're doing. Like, what are you doing for yourself? How much of your time are you spending taking care of others and being around others and communicating with others, or just being on your phone looking at other people's lives, or reading, trying to consume? Like, are you consuming and giving, or are you also taking time to be like, oh, hello me, what do you need today? And giving yourself some extra love. So maybe that's what I need. So I'm here at this beautiful park above a beach, and I'm gonna go for a little 15-minute walk or so, and then I'm gonna go drive down around and go to the beach and watch the sunset and take some sunset videos and take some sunset pictures. And I would like to write, but I think I'll wait till I get home because I don't have a journal or anything here. I could write in my notes, but it's not the same. I'm more of a writer, not a typer. But I could put some thoughts down and let that be part of it. But I think one of these things that I'm learning that I keep forgetting about and having to go back to is the self-care. And I talk about it a lot, I write about it a lot, but then I feel like I forget to do it a lot. And I'm trying to remember to do that, because it's when we take that time to sit with ourselves and remember why, like what inspires us and what we feel like we're here for to do, and who we're here to be for the rest of the world. I think that's when we can really connect with it. We can sit with that energy of like, what am I here for? What was I brought here to do? What are these, gifts that I have? Why do I have them? And how could they be beneficial to others? And if we can just remember that, and then remember to take time to just be with ourselves rather than being distracted, or just, not, I mean, I guess, yeah, being distracted by watching shows or movies or short videos or um, reading books. I mean, all these things are good, talking to people and messaging and all that stuff, or working a lot and then being busy with housework. All these things are great and they add to your lives in certain ways, but when you take time to just be with yourself and remember that just being with yourself and sitting with yourself and journaling or just meditating or just like absorbing nature, when you take time to just take care of yourself and what your soul needs, I think that's really important. Really important to feel like you matter, like you are worthwhile, and like you're important. And I for one struggle with those feelings a lot. And I'm a lot of the times I think that knowing that somebody else thinks that I'm worthwhile makes me feel more worthwhile, but really that love and that energy really needs to come from me, from inside of me, and not from an outside source, because that's not dependable. You know, like my boyfriend or my friends or what, like my son could leave at any time. My boyfriend could, go and move and, decide that he doesn't want to be with me anymore. My friends could move and we could just, not be friends and not talk. And, or my family could be like, you know what? You don't give enough to us, that we're just not going to give to you. All these situations, all these relationships that I feel like I seek out validation from, as we do as humans. We seek outside validation, but it's a lot of times it's really like we need to feel important just because of, you know, we should be important to ourselves. And we can't expect help from others. We can't expect help or validation from an outside source, because it's not like being next to a tree and being planted next to like several other trees who are getting that nutrients and love and energy from one another. It's, we're all separate. Sure, we're all connected, but really, like, anybody can disappear and be out of your life like that. And in order for you to really feel purposeful and worthwhile, that deep love that you seek from others needs to first come from yourself. And then you can start seeing more of like, oh, well, this is what I really enjoy doing. This is what inspires me. This is what brings my soul joy. And this is what I want to give to the world. And this is what I feel like I'm here to do. And what I find the most peace from. And so I think this is what I want to share. And I'm going to figure out how to do this more, because I feel like I can make, a happy life for myself doing these things. And so that's where I'm at. That's what I'm dealing with. I'm trying to remember self-love, self-care, and self-validation and self-importance, and that I can seek help and all these things from other people, but it's not ever going to be dependable, because we are the only consistent person in our lives. We're the only person that we're always going to be with. We're the only person that's going to be consistently in our lives for our entire lives. And I think it's just really important to remember to just take time to be with yourself. So I'm sitting here in my car, couldn't handle being in my apartment anymore. The space, the energy was just like bringing me down, and I needed nature. I needed to go outside and walk somewhere that was not my neighborhood, and I needed to be around strong nature to feel calm. And I first tried to go and hang out with my boyfriend because he's out crabbing, but he had moved to a different place, and so he wasn't where he was before, but it all worked out because I really needed to come out here and be here and be with myself and take time to process through this with this video. And I did another quick one before this, but I'm not sure if I'm going to share that one. But life is interesting. It's really, really interesting. It's always surprising to me, you know, like the other day I was feeling really great, really wonderful. Friday I was in the sun, I was in the water, I just felt wonderful and strong. But then yesterday and today I've just been feeling really weak and not very strong and very lost, and honestly feeling really tired of this life. But I just know that it's time for me to make some changes and figure out some direction with things, and maybe put some more energy into things that really bring me joy and make me feel happy to be alive. Excuse me. I had to sneeze, but I gotta do it away. Anyways, well, I didn't expect this to be so long, and I didn't know where this video was gonna go. The other one, I think, is just like a few minutes long. It's kind of talking about the same stuff, but and the video is vertical like I usually do, and I'm trying to remember to do the horizontal because YouTube, and so you all can see it in a broader picture. But I hope that this video is helpful to somebody, but if it's helpful to nobody else, at least it's helpful to me, and maybe it will like click some things on in your brain if you are also struggling with feeling a little lost and unsure with your purpose and life's direction. And hopefully it'll remind you also to take time to take care of yourself and be with yourself and be with nature. I've really been like playing with the idea of just like not even using my phone very much at all, because I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of being available all the time, or like being like, when I get home, I just, from being in nature or being like at other people's places, I'm like constantly going on Instagram and then Facebook and then Messenger and then checking my email and checking other things, and it's like this cycle. And I feel like it's this energy that I'm surrounded by there. There's at least 40 other people around me in the apartment complex, and then also there's more apartment complexes around me and some homes, and I feel like being so close to other people's energies, and then transformer station, the Wi-Fi stuff, and 5G things, you know, like all this stuff, the energy is just so, it's so unsettling for me. And some days I really wish we could just go back to not having cell phones, but I know that they are really great for certain things like this, or being able to call for help or communicate. Um, but being on them so much, I feel like it's just so draining. Getting out and being in nature is so important, and getting away from your phone and computers and electronics just in general is really important. And I think I'm just gonna take more time to be in nature without my phone, except for the times like this when I want to use it to record videos and take some pictures, but just not really be quite so available because it really just drains me, you know? And I think that we are all getting so drained by so much these days, and disconnecting a bit and going within and remembering to just care for your soul. Take care of your soul, take care of your body, take care of your mind, and just take care of yourself. You know, just take care of yourself. So we are almost at 30 minutes, and I am gonna go and get my walk in so I can go watch the sunset and enjoy this evening. So if you've come this far and watched all the way through this, thank you so much, and thank you for supporting my channel and what I'm trying to do, whatever that is. And I hope that you find some little bits of treasure and love and peace in this video and others. And I hope you have a wonderful day or evening or whatever it is, morning, afternoon. And I hope that you take time to be with yourself and get into nature, out into nature, and just breathe and let everything go, and just trust that everything's going to be okay, because everything's going to be okay. And you're doing a great job, and you're here for a reason, and everything that you're doing has purpose, even if it feels like it doesn't, even if it's just sitting. You're existing, and your presence is important in this world. So thank you for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful life, and love yourself a lot. All right, take care. See you next time.